Oof, it's cold out. So this really seems to be some sort of point of contention for people that call themselves minimalists, because how can you call yourself a minimalist when you actually buy stuff? Seems kind of backward. I can only really speak from personal experience on this, but for me it's worked out really good, and these are all my opinions, so you can take them with a grain of salt, but for me they've worked excellent. So the thing, obviously, that minimalists don't want to be is materialistic. Materialism is like the enemy of minimalism. It's exactly what we don't want to be. We don't want to be obsessed with stuff. We don't want to find our value in stuff. We've seen people in our lives that have kind of unfortunately fallen into this behavior of, look at my stuff. Look how much stuff I have. Look how expensive my stuff is. To me, that's repulsive. However, it is important that we do not judge these people for doing this. They're still people too, just like us. We just don't like their actions and behaviors. So like on the one spectrum, you've got materialism, and that's obviously not what you want to be. And then like on the other spectrum, there's this other thing that you don't want to be, which is cheap. You've probably heard the term like cheapskate or penny pincher or something like that. So this is someone that just buys the cheapest thing because it's the cheapest thing, and that's the only reason, because they don't want to spend any money extra on anything. These are the people that don't tip anything to their waitress or their barber, hairstylist or whatever. These are the people where it's like you all chip in for a meal, but they'll like leave before everybody pays. Just stuff like that. And I don't think they realize, yeah, you may be saving a couple dollars in the short run, but in the long run, people aren't really gonna want to be around you. Actions have consequences, so don't be that guy. The other thing is, when you're super cheap, when it comes to making purchases, it's gonna come back to bite you. And this is evident. Like, you could get the cheapest pair of shoes that you can find, but don't be surprised when they fall apart in 6 months. Notice how I did not say poor or impoverished. Some people have to buy the cheapest thing because they don't have any money, or they just can't afford anything else. That's not who I'm talking about. I'm talking about the people that could shell out a few extra bucks for whatever, but just don't because they don't want to. So on one side, you've got this materialistic, obsessed with things person. This other side, you've got like cheap Uncle Scrooge, penny pincher, cheapskate. You don't want to be either of those people. So how do you still make smart purchases and not fall into either of these traps? So the things that I do when I'm making purchases, okay, I think, is this an impulse buy? Am I buying this right now because I'm excited about it and it's based on emotion, or am I actually wanting this product? Have I been wanting it for a while, and am I going to use it a lot and get a lot of value out of this product? I think that's the key word right there, is value. Paying for something that's high quality and being able to use it over and over again. You're getting a lot of value out of this product, or getting the full, you want to get the full life out of whatever you're buying, whether that's a pair of jeans, a vacation, new car, cell phone. And I think the big thing that people run into about how much stuff that they actually have that they don't use is when you move. I've just even discovered this, and I've heard so many people say this, that I did not realize how much stuff I had. When you move out, that's the next time you see it. Why do I even have all this stuff? When you move, especially if you've moved lately or often, it becomes so much more of a burden when you have all this extra stuff that you don't even use sitting around, and now you get to spend the whole day or weekend or however long moving all this stuff that you don't even really care that much about. So I have one product that I wanted to show that I've gotten a ton of value out of. So I bought a pair of Doc Martens shoes in 2006, right? We just hit 2018, and I still wear these. These have gotten some heavy use, and the other thing is like I can polish these up and these will look almost brand new. So we're going on 12 years here. I think these were $90 back then, and I've gotten extremely good value. Look, there's no rips. There's There's no tears anywhere. It's not coming apart. Like, look at all this tread on this shoe. This is a high quality product, okay? We're going on 12 years here, and you would never have guessed that. So I could have bought a $15 pair of boots from Kmart or something and had them fall apart in a year, or I could have invested my money a lot better and bought a $90 pair of boots, which you say, oh, that's a little expensive for a pair of boots. Yeah, but if it lasts 12 years, and I plan on having these still for a while, that's a much, much better value than just buying the cheapest thing out there. So my 3 takeaways from this video are, remember, don't do the impulse buys. The impulse buys are the purchases that we make based kind of on emotion. We're excited about it at the time, and then it ends up sitting around locked in a closet somewhere, whatever. It's that treadmill that you bought for $2,000 that sits in your basement and you don't even use it. That's what you want to stay away from. 2, don't be cheap. Cheap and frugal are not the same thing. I can be frugal and not be cheap, right? You can still research the best product and get a good value in return for your products without it being the cheapest, the least expensive product on the shelf. Maybe those are the same thing. Once in a while, you will find the least expensive product that gives you the most value in return, and that is a great thing. It's hard to find, but once in a while you can find that. And then 3, just don't be cheap. Just in general in life, it doesn't pay off to save a few bucks now when you'll be paying for it later in other ways. So no impulse buys, get value in return for your products, don't be cheap. Those things have helped me get a lot of value in return for my products and not have a whole bunch of excess clutter laying around where I live and just weighing me down in life. And then when I move, it doesn't take a full 5 days and then I'm kicking myself why I have all this stuff. Till next time.